So, Jai Hind. This is Dr. Avdhesh Gupta, Professor, Department of Information Technology, Ajay Kumargar Engineering College. Today, we will discuss about classless IP addresses. So, first of all, what is classful and what is classless? Classful IP addresses are those whose addresses along with their default subnet mask is already given. Like for example, if I am saying that 192.168.0.1. This is the IP and this is the mask which is a default. We can say that this is the default mask which is 255.255.255.0. So this belongs to class C IP address because this is the default IP address we have used along with this IP address. But what is classless? This is classless. If the IP address is 192.168.0.1 slash, for example, 27 or 28. Okay. So the slash notation, if the IP address is represented with the slash notation, /n, this is called /n notation. So this is the example of classless IP addresses. So what will be the mask for this classless? First 28 bit, what does it mean? First 28 bit must be 1 in binary. What does it mean? It means the default mask is first 24 bits are 1. So we can say this is first 24 bits are 1. Okay. So do not misunderstood that if we have represented as default /24 or this is represented /28. /24 is the default mask for this given IP address class C. /28 is not the default mask. Just because of class A IP address has the default mask is a /8, class B is a /16, class C is /24. So this is a default mask. But if we are not using default, then it is called classless. Okay. So whatever the range 8, 16 and 24 we have used, this is classless IP address. So this belongs to classless IP address. What will be the mask for is first 28 bits. Yani ki 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and rest are the zeros. So we can rewrite it in decimal notation is 255.255.255 dot. What does it mean? It means that 240. If you convert it into binary, then it becomes 240. So this is not the default mask. This is the mask generated by the /28. Okay. So this is a default mask which is generated by this 24 and this is the default mask. How many number of hosts can we have in this subnets? If we take these 40, so how many hosts can we have? 2 to the power, how many zeros are there? 4. 2 to the power 4 minus 2. This is the number of hosts in any subnet. Whatever that 4 is represented by the number of zeros from the right hand side. Minus 2 it means in any subnet the first address treated as the network address and the last address treated as the broadcast address. That's why rest are the host. So we have to subtract 2, one for network address, another for broadcast address. So rest are the host addresses. So how many hosts available is there? 2 to the power 4 is 16 minus 2, it means 14 hosts can be reside in a one subnet. Basically subnetting is used to avoid the wastage of IP address. In this scenario, how many hosts can exist in this classful IP address? If we take all zeros in the last blocks, that is 2 to the power 8. So we can say that 256 on how many hosts? Minus 2, it means 254. Suppose we have a lab of 30 computers, we have a lab of 50 computers, we have a lab of 60 computers. So what will we choose? If we choose class C IP address, so and we are using only 60 IP addresses, so rest IP addresses are waste. we cannot use the rest IP address for the same lab. If there is another lab is there, we can use the rest IP address for this lab, but what happened? The both labs are combined together because this is the range in a network. If we can add class C address and we can have 254 hosts for that particular network, so all the computers can communicate with each other. What do you want? If there are different organization or different LANs are there, you do not need to communicate between these LAN or organization. And just to avoid the wastage of IP address, in this, if we have, for example, if we have number of hosts, for example, 30, there is a lab of 30 computers. The number of hosts is 30. So what is the subnet mask? If we are using this class C IP address, the mask is maximum range is this can be represented as 2 to the power n. So what is 2 to the power? 2 to the 4, 2 to the 8, 2 to the 16, 2 to the 32, 2 to the power 5. So it means 5 zeros. So it means for what? We can keep it 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and rest are the 1. Rest are the ones. So this is a subnet mask, and we can keep it as a 2 to the power 5. It means 30 hosts can be available. So let's take another example, few questions. Like for example, there is an IP address, let's say 150.10.0.5/21. Okay. So the question is, how many number of hosts, number of addresses, number of hosts, the range of IP addresses, network address, broadcast address, and also subnet mask. So these all we can find from this given the IP address. Okay. So first of all, if there is 21, so we have we can find the number of host or subnet mask. How? If there is 21, so number of host we can find it on what basis? We can find it 2 to the power 32 minus 21 minus 2 is equals to 2 to the power how much? 2 to the power 11 minus 2. It means 2048 minus 2, or we can say 2046 host will be there. 2046 host. Okay. Number of addresses. Number of addresses is 2048 because the first address is treated as the subnet mask address, or the last address is broadcast address. So we have to find the subnet mask. What is the subnet mask? If we keeping the last 11 bits as a 0, so keep it in subnet mask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and this. In decimal notation, we can write 255.255 dot. For this, we can write it as 2. I think if we convert this binary into decimal notation, so what we can write 240 and 248, 248.0. So this will become the mask subnet mask address for this IP range. What is the range of IP address, network address, and broadcast address? So for this, the network address. To find the network address, we can do some calculations, mathematical calculation, or we can assume it at our own. So what is the network calculation is? Network calculation is binary of IP and operator. Keep in mind, and operator with binary of mask. This is how we can find the network address or the first address. Not say, but first address. Or this is the last address. We can say first or last. Okay. And the last address is one's complement. One's complement of IP or binary of mask will give the broadcast address. This is the calculative way, or if you think you can do it at your own, so how can we do it? Let's say, for example, this is the address. So this address belongs to any one host available in that particular network. So what will be the network address? We can keep it as 150.10.0.0 is the subnet address. How many hosts will be there? The host is 2048. If we keep the range is as 150.10.0.255. So how many addresses are there? 256 addresses are there. So to make it 2046, addresses, what will be the range? If in this range we can add 256 addresses in another range, 150.10.1.0 to 150.10.1.255. So we can keep it 256 and 256, 512 addresses in these two ranges, 512. So in the same way, if we keep 2046 addresses, so what will be the range? The range will become up to 150.0.7.255. Just because of, if we keep in 0, 256, in 1, again 256, and so on, we are doing it. So let's say 256 into 8, it becomes 2046. Okay. So the range is 0 to 0.255 to 7.255. So 0.0, this is the network address, this is the broadcast address, and the host address will start from 150.10.0.1 to 150.107.254. So 1 and 254. This is the host addresses. This is the network address and this is the broadcast address. And the range of IP address is this. So this is how we can find the multiple things. Okay. Now take another question. I have given IP address is like, for example, 200.100.0.1/30. Now the question is, how many hosts can we have in this network, in this subnet? How many hosts? So number of hosts we can find 2 to the power 32 minus 30 minus 2. This is the number of hosts. So how many? 2 to the power 2 minus 2. It means 4 minus 2. It means only 2 hosts can we have in a subnet. It means for what? If we have only 2 hosts in a network, so rest IP address we can use for further use. Like for example, take another example. If we have to add 50 hosts, okay, the given IP address range is suppose 150.0.0.0. This is the range, and we have to keep only 50 hosts. If we belongs to class full IP address, so this IP address belongs to class B. In class B, 2 to the power 16 host can exist in a network. 2 to the power 16 host, a huge number of hosts are there, a large number of hosts are there. But we have to keep only 50 hosts. If we use class full IP address, the default mask for class B is 255.255.0.0. But in classless IP addresses, only 50 hosts can exist in this subnet. So what can we do? We can do that 50 2 to the power n. So what will be the value of this n? 2 to the power 6. Okay, 2 to the power 6 is equals to 64. So we can have 64 hosts in the network. We can have minus 2, 64. Oh, sorry, 62. We can have 62 hosts in a network, but we have only 50 hosts. So it means 12 IP addresses are wastage. So just to reduce the IP address, we can use subnetting to reduce the wastage of IP addresses. In this example, only the 12 IP addresses are wasted. But if we use classful IP address, so a large number of IP addresses are wasted, and these IP addresses are very important. Nowadays, you think that IPv6 in practice? So yes, IPv6 is a default configured on every machine, that is either mobile or laptop. But IPv4 is in existence. It is in current scenario. IPv6 is a default. It is in just a testing phases. So what do we think that in next 4 or 5 years, maybe IPv4 addresses become short because of the number of hosts are increasing every day. So that's why IPv6 came in existence. IPv6 is 128 bit. We can have only 50 hosts and 12 network 12 hosts, 12 IP addresses are wastage. Okay, take another example. Let's say, for example, the IP address is given. I have an example. The IP address is given 1712. Sorry, keep it here. 17.1.2.4.0/26. Okay. There are we can have total 64 addresses. How? If the subnet mask is at 26, so what will conclude? 2 to the power 32 minus 26 minus 2. It will become 2 to the power 6 minus 2. It means 64 minus 2. It means 62 hosts. So we can say that 64 addresses, but 62 hosts are available. Okay. Now you need to have what is the scenario? The scenario is you have 3 different offices. Okay. So office 1, office 2 and office 3. Office 1 needs 32 address. Office 2 need 16 address, and this office also need 16 addresses. Okay, addresses. I am not asking the host. These different offices need 32 address, 16 address and 16 address. So the question is, what will be the mask and what will be the range for these subnets? Okay, the question is given. So how can we solve it? Take like this is the number of addresses. It means if we are converting this into 2 to the power n, because these are the addresses, not host, so we cannot minus 2. If this is the host, then we should minus 2. Okay, so it will become 2 to the power 5, and for 16 2 to the power n, so it is 2 to the power 4. In the same scenario, 2 to the power 4. Okay, so this is the mask given by the organization, but we have to choose another mask that will be greater than or equals to 26. Okay, it is not as fixed as 26. We are using 26 only. So if the addresses are given, so 5, 4 and 4. So what will be the subnet mask in these cases? So let's take first case. In first case, write 5 bits will become 0. Write 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and rest are the 1. ये सभी 1 होंगे. So when we convert it into decimal. So whatever the value is, but in slash notation, what will be the mask? Keep in mind that 32 minus 5, how much? 27. Okay. So the first network subnet should consider the slash 27 mask, not 26 mask. Slash 26 is given by the organization, that organization provide the internet to you. But if we keep only 32 host, 32 addresses in our organization, in our office one, then we should keep the subnet mask is slash 27. In the same way, if we have another office having 16 addresses in that particular office, then slash 32 minus 4. So slash 28. Slash 28. So this is for network 1, office 1, this is for office 2, and this is for office 3. So these are the different masks. So do you understand that the mask play a very important role to decide the subnet addresses, the subnet range, and everything. Okay. So this is how we can choose that these are the masks. Now it is very clear that if 28 bits are 1 from the left hand side, the rest bits are 0. So how many bits are 0? 4 bits. So 2 to the power 4 will become the address in this network. How many addresses we can have in this? 32 minus 26. 2 to the power 6. It means 2 to the power 6. It means total 64. We can have 64 addresses in our network, but we configure it if for 3 different offices. So we should configure like in this. So what will be the range? So in the next page, we can write the first address 17.1241.1240.0 slash 26. So first is 27, this is the first, second is 28, third is 28. In this we can have 32 addresses, in this 16 addresses, in this 16 addresses. So how will you configure this? For configuration, we can have, if we have 32, so what will be the range? The range is 17.12.40.0 to 32 host. It means 17.12.40.31, 0 to 31, and this will be the range for IP address for this. Okay, for this next address is, that will be 17.12.40.32 to 17.12.40.16 addresses. So 16, it means 47. This will be the range. And for the third network, 17.12.40.48 to 17.12.40.63. This will be the range for third network. So in total, we can have total 64 addresses available in this network. But we have 3 different offices, and listen carefully. These 3 addresses, these 3 subnets cannot interact with each other directly, because there are 3 different subnets are there. These are the 3 different subnets. You need to have router configuration or gateway configuration to interact among these 3 subnets. By simple configuration, by default configuration, these networks cannot communicate with each other. Okay, so this is the most consideration, that if we keep our organization secret private, or we cannot share anything from our network, we cannot allow any other network to interact with our network, so we can use subnet. In today's scenario, we are not using classful IP addresses. Classful IP address, yes, introduced very first, but we are using the classless IP addresses only. Why? The answer is very simple. Just to avoid the wastage of IP addresses, just to avoid, just to keep our privacy safety, just to keep hackers far away from our network. If I am giving any network IP address and I am not sharing the mask, can you identify the mask or the range of IP address? No, it is not easy. So just to protect my network, we can use, just to save the range of IP address, we can use the subnets. Then what is supernet? Another term. Subnet and supernet. One is subnet, another is supernet. Subnet is the process, subnet is the phenomena where a large network can be divided into small portion, and that network, small networks, is a part of that particular large network, but this small network cannot communicate with each other. And subnet, in subnet, we can avoid the wastage of IP addresses. And what is subnet? If these three are the chunks of subnets of this, if we combining these three into a one network, so one network is this. So subnet is the breaking of this IP address into this category, and supernet is to combine these subnet into one, is called supernet. So subnet and supernet vice versa. Subnet is breaking the given IP address on different subnets, and supernet is combining the subnets into one. This is a supernet. So do not confuse that supernet is any special term. This is just to reverse the subnet. Okay. So this is a variable length subnet. Take another example. Like for example, this is a very large example. So listen carefully. I have came with a question. The question is, the given IP address is 190.100. Just 100.0.0/16. Okay. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that in this IP address we can have 32 minus 16. It means 2 to the power 16 host or addresses in this network. But what my question is? My question is, we are having 64 customers having 256 addresses. 64 customers are those who are using 256 addresses. 128 customers are those who are using 128 addresses, and 128 customers are those who are using 64 addresses. So I am asking to design the subnets. What will be the subnet mask, what will be the range, and other thing. So first of all, we need to identify that what is the basic phenomena to design the subnet. There are two phenomena. One is based on the number of hosts requested by the customer. Okay. In the first phenomena, in this question, he is requesting that 256 addresses should be available in one subnet. Okay. The particular person can divide 256 based on their request, based on their demand. But what I am asking that we should consider the number of addresses or number of hosts. There is a difference, little difference in between addresses and host. Addresses includes network address and broadcast address, but hosts does not include the network address and broadcast address. That's why we should subtract 2 if we have addresses. Okay. So for this, what we can do? 256. First of all, we have to convert it into 2 to the power n. So what will be the value of 2 to the power n for 256? It will be 2 to the power 8. 2 to the power 8. Okay. So if we consider 2 to the power 8, so what will be the subnet mask for this? The organization, the ISP, Internet Service Provider, gives me this IP address, and it is my responsibility or the organization responsibility to change the subnet as per the demand. Okay. So if 256 addresses are available, so we should consider that only 256 addresses can exist in a subnet. So for this 2 to the power 8, what does it mean? It means if we deciding the subnet mask for this, subnet mask will be 32 minus 2 to the power 8, yani ki 8, it means minus 8, it means 24. For the first question, if we have 64 customer and each customer having 256 addresses, so we should have the mask is /24, not 16, 24/24, because if we using 16 mask, so it means we are allowing the customer to have 2 to the power 16 addresses. If we are keeping /24, it means we are allowing a customer to have 2 to the power 8 addresses only. And the first question asks this one only, that you have only 256 addresses in your network only. Okay. In the second question, if 128 addresses are available, then 2 to the power 7. But वैसी बात है कि this is 2 to the power 7. It means /25 in this /26. So mask for these different customers, if the 64 customers are using 256 addresses, the mask for these 64 customers are /24. It means 255.255.0. And for 128, it will be 255.255.192. And the last one is 255.255.192, and another is in this 128 and this 192 last digit. You can convert it into decimal at your own. Maybe I am wrong, so that's why. Forget about it. So now the range. Now the question is, what will be the range? So let's check the first part. 64 customer, 256 addresses. So if the customer 1, for customer 1, what will be the range? The range will be 190.100.0.0 to how many hosts we are allowing? 256. It means 190.100.0.255. This is the range of customer 1. In the similar way, for customer 2, the range will be 190.100.1.0 to 190.100.1.255. This is for customer 2, and we have 64 customer. So for customer 64, what will be the range? 190.100.63.0 to 190.100.63.255. This is the range, the complete range of network 1, who is they where 64 customers are available and each customer requesting 256 addresses. So this will be the range for each and every customers. Okay. And for this 120 customers requesting 128 addresses, what will be the range for this question? Writing in this way. Okay. What will be the range? The range start from after this. So this is 190.100.64.0 to what is this? 128 addresses. So it means we are keeping 190.100.64.0 64.127, because you need only 128 addresses now, the 0 to 127. Next is, this is for customer 1. For customer 2, 190.100.64.128 to 190.100.64.255 for customer 2. So, in this way, 2 customers are available and we need 128 customers. 128 customers. So, what will we see there? If we are not going any calculation, just assume it at our own. So, in 64, we can have 256 numbers are there. 256. Okay. So, it means 2 customers are involved in this and we need 128 customer. So, what we are doing? The final range is for customer 128 is 190.100.127.0 sorry 128 to 190.100.127.255. This will be the customer 128. This will be the customer 128. Okay. So, this is how we can calculate the subnet mask, the range of IP addresses in classless, the first address, the network address, the broadcast address, everything. The network address is the first address. The first address whose address is either 0 or anything, the first address, the range start from that particular address is treated as a network address. And the last address is treated as a broadcast address. Okay. So, last address is broadcast address and rest address in between that particular addresses are treated for the host only. Okay. So, take another example. Okay. These all questions are based on the number of hosts. Okay. Now, the question is, if we have not given the number of hosts, it's depend on you, how many hosts can you have in a subnet. But the question is that you need to create a number of subnets, like for example, this is the IP address 50.50.50.0. This is the IP address. Okay. And I want to make number of subnet. There is IP address given. Suppose I am the internet service provider. Okay. So, some addresses, IP addresses given, and we have asked to just to ensure that 500 subnets should be there. 5000 subnets should be, and each subnet can have how many number of hosts? It doesn't matter. Currently, it doesn't matter, because I am not talking about the number of hosts. Okay. So, 5000 host subnets are there. So, how can we design the subnet? So, this particular IP address belongs to which class? This belongs to class A. And what will be the default mask? Default mask is a /8, because this IP address belongs to class A address. So, this is my assumption, or this is a default addresses. That is why we should consider this one. Now, comes on the subnets. The number of subnets given is 5000. So, just convert it into 2 to the power n. 2 to the power how much? 2 to the power 13. 13 is there. So, how can we solve it? This is the subnet. Host is not given, because in the previous examples the number of hosts are given and we have to subtract the 32 minus 2 to the power n minus n. And in this question there is no host is given, but subnet is given. So, what we do? 13. So, we should decide the subnet mask. How? The default is 8. Default is 8 and 13 is driven by this number of subnet, which becomes 21. So, this is the subnet mask 21/21. This is the subnet mask, because if we keeping /21, then only we can have 5000 subnets or more than 5000 subnets. How many subnets are there? If we are keeping is to the power 13, I think we are keeping 8192 subnets are there. So rest of the subnets are wastage. That's it. But if we keeping is 12, then only 4096 subnets will be there. If you are happy to have 4096 subnets, then it's okay. Otherwise, we have to keep it to the power 13. Okay. So /21. So what will be the final IP is 50.50.50.0/21 is the IP. Now this will be the IP, and each subnet, we have 5000 subnet. Each subnet can have how many number of hosts? 21. So to calculate number of host is 2 to the power 32 minus 21 minus 2 will be the 2 to the power 10 minus 2. It means 1024 minus 2, it means 1022. 1022 host we can have in a subnet. We can have 1022 host in a subnet if we are keeping this as an IP address and subnet mask. So think about it. If we are using the subnetting principle, so we can have a variety of questions or variety of masks will be there, and you need to prepare yourself by practicing these questions again and again, because there are lots of questions are there in your notebook, in your textbook Frozen and Tannenbaum, or also in the book Black. So basically there are lots of questions are there, and when you are solving these questions, maybe you stuck somewhere. So you need to practice these questions again and again, just to find what type of things you are asking. Let's take another thing. Okay. Now I am giving that any IP address with 20 subnet mask 20. It means first 20 bits are 1 and rest bits are treated for the host. And now I am asking how many hosts can we have if we keeping subnet mask is /20. How many hosts? So for the simple 2 to the power 32 minus 20 minus 2. This is number of hosts. So which will be the 2 to the power 12 minus, 2 to the power, 12 minus 2. So it means 4096 minus 2, it means 4094. These type of question can come in examinations. Okay. Another, if we are given this, they are asking for subnet mask in decimal notation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 20, 32. So it means in decimal notation, it will be treated as 255.240.0. This will be the subnet mask in decimal notation. Okay. So you should consider these type of examples. So make sure that you have sufficient knowledge about these. Do practices on these questions. Then only you can understood it in depth. So that's all for now. If you are having any question, you can come to me for your doubt clearance. Thank you very much.